All right, hello. I wanted to bring a few, new people up to date, just a little bit with a few of the dollar bill decodes that I've done in the past. Um, if you like this, there are several more other decodes on the dollar bill in my back catalogue. They should be fairly easy to find because they'll probably have something in the title to do with the dollar bill and decode. So anyway, what I want to show you in here, I'm going to show you the Donald Trump ear wound decode, and I want to show you the 10/11 date that's coming up, and I also want to show you the 10/22 date that I'm kind of looking at for Madonna, and also the 11/22 JFK number that's in here, and what else? I'll just show you the Hoover Dam as well while we're here. Okay, so what you need to know is that, let me put this on, is that in here you see this, and again this is interesting with Charlotte's web, okay, but you see this webbing that's everywhere, okay, the pattern of the dollar bill, okay, and if you actually go to the other side it looks more like spider web stuff, but you see this pattern that's in here. There are little spots in here, and in fact it's one of these patterns that just repeats itself. So what that means is that you can fold a certain area and then join it back up with another area, and the pattern stays, I don't know, not complete, but it matches back up. Okay, now what got me started on this was the little owl. Okay, there, that little dude. I'm sure most people have if you've looked at the dollar bill or even just watched random decodes talk about the little owl that is right here, well, that is actually a fold marker. If you'll notice, the little owl, which is this dude right here, the pattern actually comes up in this sort of thing above it, okay, and that is actually repeated all around the dollar bill. And in fact, this is, again, this dude here is the little owl. It looks actually more like a moth, yeah, and then that pattern, you can see that sort of pattern there over the top of it. And again here, here's the little owl dude here, but except you can't see the pattern over the top of it because it's hidden there, okay? And the same here. Here's a little owl dude here, or moth, and here is again, and you can see the thing over the top here, and then you can't see it right here, but you can see the thing over the top here, and so forth and so on, all the way around the dollar bill. Okay, so all of these places can be used as a reference point to put a fold line in. So if I just put a fold line just put a red line in across where you would fold the dollar bill, okay, you can, and the reason why I really started looking at this is because of all the stuff with 9/11. I think it was Jonathan Kleck that did all those dollar bill folds with the 20 and everything, with the twin towers on it and everything. Oh, well, that's pretty close, but you'd fold across there, okay. And that, yeah, anyway, that's really what got me started on even looking at the dollar bill to see if there was anything in it, and this is one of the bills that they have not changed. I don't know if there's any other bills that they haven't changed. Maybe the $2 bill hasn't been changed as well, but this is, obviously the most famous bill, and it's not been updated for quite some time. Anyway, here we've got a fold line. If we were to fold this here and just get rid of the top of this, rid of the top of the bill, right? So if I just moved it out of the way so it wasn't like confusing us here for a second, okay, and we just focused in on the bottom here. Now I could draw in some stuff here, and this might start looking like something like the ruffles of this tie here, yeah, is looking like water flowing over something, okay, and then we could say that this was like the side of a cliff here, or a gorge or a valley, and this whole thing here is kind of like made of concrete, okay. you know, like a concrete wall here. I'm not doing a very good job at filling this in for you, but this is the dam. Okay, you know, there's your concrete wall, and there's water bursting over the top of it here. Okay, with Washington's necktie. So this is what I think is a reference to the Hoover Dam here. I know that's not a very good, I've not done a very good job there, but like I say, it's just a quickie just to give you the idea here, okay? So anyway, let's do Donald Trump's ear wound. So there's the Hoover Dam in there, and there's a little bit more to this than just what I'm just showing you here. That forms that actually goes in with another couple of folds, and you can actually you end up with Washington's head actually concertinaing out of the top of the Hoover Dam, like his head's being reborn, and it forms the mushroom cloud and all the rest of it. Okay, I know that doesn't make much sense me just talking about it, but again, it's all in previous decodes. Let's do the Donald Trump ear wound. Okay, for this one, I need to draw Donald Trump's ear in. Now, if you look at where your ear starts, if you take the corner of the eye here and come across, and the ear usually starts just about there, pops up a little bit, and so that's roughly where Washington's ear would be. Yeah, because we're looking at the president, because obviously Donald Trump is a president. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look for our fold marker line. Okay, and we can't see it here, but this is this pattern that comes up and over. Okay, so I can now draw a line through there as if we were going to shoot the president through the ear here. So let me show you. So what we'll do is we'll just come through that fold marker line, and we'll just come through, try and get it fairly level this time. Difficult, this thing. Okay, and what you'll see is that when we draw that line through, when we shoot that line through there, okay, what do we end up with? We end up going through the ear. And interesting with Donnie Darko, the eye as well, getting hit, you know, Frank getting hit in the eye. But here is the ear getting shot. Well, big deal, Dan. So what? You've just drawn a line through his ear. That's what. Well, it's on a fold marker line, and then what we want to do is we want to count up what is above and below the fold marker line in terms of leaves and berries. Yeah, this is how you get a lot of the numbers out of, well, I say a lot of the numbers, but there's a lot of number jumps in here, and they are encoded in leaves and berries. Okay, so if we count up leaves, right, let's just draw a little bit around them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 leaves there, and then we've got 3 leaves, okay, and 1 berry. Okay, so if we just make those into numbers now, okay, we've got a number 13 here, and we've got a number 7 here. Okay, 7/13, the date that this ear got hit. Okay, I don't know what else to say. Some people will say, well, that's a bit of a stretch, you know, but you know, I mean, it's there, isn't it? Okay, like a lot of other things in here. 9/11's in here. There's a ton of stuff in here. Okay, so anyway, maybe that kind of makes you think that there's something interesting about this. Well, there's something more interesting about this. These numbers. Let me show how this folds the other way. And to do this, I will just put this selection tool on, and we'll just actually just cut off a piece of the dollar bill, roughly where through we would be folding, and we'll have to move it to the other side to show you what's going on with all the numbers. Okay, so the first one I want to do is we might as well start logically at 9-1. Okay, because the 9-1 numerology is the same as what we just had for Charlie Kirk. Yeah, you just put that O in, when you're using numerology, it don't matter if we have the 0 in there or not. Okay, so if I cut through, you'll notice that right here, well, I guess I maybe should have showed you this, but this leaf has got a flat side to it right here. If you can just see where my cursor is moving up and down. So we're going to come through that flat side of the leaf there. We're not technically using the pattern at this point, but we're using the side of a leaf that has got this really flat part to it. And what we're going to do is we're going to move this side over, and what we're going to do is we're going to match it up. Now what you'll notice is this one of these leaves is actually going to get covered up and join up, and I'll show you which one it is, but you can kind of see. So as we join that up, move it over to this other leaf that's got a little bit of a flat side there as well. Well, that's close enough. What you'll see is we can now count up leaves and berries again, and what you'll also see is that this leaf right here kind of joined together, okay, to make one full leaf. Okay, and so we can count up the rest of them, and what we'll see is that there's one leaf there, 2 leaves, 3 leaves, 4 leaves, 5 leaves, 6 leaves, 7 leaves, 8 leaves, 9 leaves, and 1 berry. Notice how it almost makes like the palm of a hand, or like a bear claw or something here. But again, 9 leaves, 1 berry. Okay, so again, super important. Again, with the idea of Charlie Kirk maybe this time, 9-1. But don't forget, 9-1 is the beginning and end of the Fibonacci cycle. It's a super important number to do with beginning and ends, okay? Just as the 9-11 in the Fibonacci cycle is part of that 9-1, if that makes sense. So that's that one. That's our 9-1. Now we're going to continue moving this side of the dollar bill over. I'll have to undo this a second, but we're going to continue moving over because there's something fascinating that happens, and this is undeniable that this is supposed to match up this way. So let me show you it. We'll pull through the little owl this time. Okay, so there's our little owl marker up there, and I've just got my line through it. Okay, right here. We're going to pull this side over, and what you're going to see now is that, oh, that's designed to match up. Look, can you see that? When we match up as we come across, when we match up our pattern, can you see that this shieldy type thing and the O match up? Okay, so you see those two things match up. Now from this we get several numbers and several interesting things, right? I don't know, now I'm not going to do every single little bit that's in here, but what I want to do is I want to show you these numbers, and well, let's go back on this. So the first thing is to note is that there's a word spelled out there, believe it or not, and what it is it's a P, and this part here becomes the I. Yeah, so what you have is P and I, pi. Okay, so a 314 reference there, or again we've talked about the pi being reflected and being the number 19. If you reflect that, it's the number 19. Okay, anyway, let me show you this. Hang on. What I want to do is get rid of that off of there. So to make this make more sense now, so you can see that pi there. To make more sense of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this selection here, and we'll just rotate it. Let's rotate 180. Now it'll stand out to you more what the numbers are here. Okay, and let me make this blooming thing bigger. Yeah, and red's fine. Okay, so the numbers will stand out to you here now, and that is the number 10. Okay, and then inside the 10 obviously is the number 11. So we have the number 10 and 11 referenced right here. Yeah, this is the big day. Yeah, 10, 11. Okay, now what I will say is that 10, 11 or 11, 10, as Americans would write it, is, so the 10th of November is the 314th day of the year, yeah? And remember we had the pi, yeah, the pi written there, okay? 314 day of the year. So this is quite a nice connection back to the following day on from this, of course, is 11, 11, okay? And what you'll notice at the bottom of here as well, let's just undo all that a second. So that's how you get to the 1011 that's in here. What you'll notice at the bottom of here as well is several different numbers you can get out of here. 8, 11. You can get, obviously there's the phallic symbolism here as well. Okay, I'm not going to go into it too much. And then also there's some numbers encoded in just in the I don't really want to spend a whole bunch of time doing this, but there's some numbers encoded in the actual what these frame. They're actually picture frames, these things here. This is really a picture frame, and this is a side-on view of the same picture frame. And the picture frame that they're referencing here is this dude, yeah, face on this way. This is $1. If you go to where he's sideways on, like this picture frame is, okay, this is the side-on picture frame I've drawn over it. This is 25 cents referenced in here, okay. Let me undo that. And 125, super duper important. Obviously, it's a condensed form of Christmas, 1225, 125. Okay, but you can see this wave here is again, you know, this thing on sideways. If you turn this frame sideways, so what they're saying here is turn this picture sideways, okay, here, and that gives you your 25 cents on the quarter. Washington is sideways on the quarter. Does that make sense? I hope I'm saying that all right and not missing stuff out of there. But so anyway, you can get a 125, a reference to Christmas, 521 we've talked about before. That's the I think it's the 13th Lucas number. I hope I'm getting that right. But again, that's, you know, all interesting stuff anyway. And we also have the Peyton Manning decode with this, yeah. Here's the mane of the horse here. Yeah, the wave, the mane of the horse, the mane, the mare, the sea, the what was going to say, the Broncos, yeah. And then this one on this side is like a horseshoe, yeah. The Colts are the Broncos. And what shirt does Peyton Manning always wear? The number 18, yeah. 8 and the number 1 right here, number 18. Okay. Anyway, let me show you now how you get. I mean, it's pretty obvious how you get the 222s out of here. So if you look here, just check these right here. Yeah, these are like bunny ears. These leaves. Yeah. So I always say it's like follow the white rabbit, Neo. You know, or it's kind of interesting with Playboy with the idea of the centerfold, you know, and you're folding this thing, you're folding the dollar bill across, and the Playboy bunny reference and the centerfold, yeah, you get the idea. Anyway, so yeah, the rabbit reference, Frank getting shot, all the rest of that. The rabbit reference here with the bunny ears. So anyway, we've got 2 leaves here. 1, 2. So this is a 2. Here's your other 2. Yeah. Okay. And what that's going to end up giving you is obviously 22. So let's just uncomplicate this a second. So you've got 22 here, and then you've got two numbers connecting to it. You've got the number 11 and the number 10. Okay, so 1022 and 1122, super duper important. Yeah. What else to say? That's pretty much it. I mean, I could go on. I've got tons of decodes on this. There's loads of leaves and berries, loads of little, like the width. The width of this thing is 6.14 inches. Yeah, Donald Trump's birthday numbers. I mean, it's just stuff like that. There's just tons of stuff on it. What am I forgetting? That's one. What am I forgetting on this? I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm kind of tired. I don't want to go to bed. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. But again, the upcoming date. Oh, one other thing. This also, did I say this could be a 1010 down here as well? Yeah. Got a 1 and a 0, 1 and a 0, 1010. And if you go to the old $10 bill, it has the exact same fold in it, and the actual marker for the fold that comes through here. So I'm talking about the exact same fold. I'm talking about the dam. So it has the dam fold in it, and it actually runs through. Now I think it's the word 10 written, like like that, something like that, and then it's written on the other side as well. Well, it'd be written like this, I think. Yeah. So it has a 1010 fold for the dam as well. So 1010 and 1011, super interesting to do with the dam. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. That's it really. That's got Hamilton on it. So when you see a lot of Hamilton references, could be tying back to that $10 bill. So there's other stuff on here though, and again, it's all in my back catalogue. One more thing, I guess, like if you do hit, let me just show you one more. Let me show you a number jump in here just to solidify things. Here is the number 2. Yeah. Here is the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if you actually go and look at these, if you probably need to zoom in a little bit, but there's actually one berry and another berry underneath, and another berry and another berry. So there's 4 berries. So you got 254, which is of course the day of 9/11, the day of the year. And then if you come across here, if you go one berry here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops, you go 155 days from 9/11, it's going to get you to a date that's super important, yeah, because it's a reference to Lucas numbers, and what that date is 2/13. Okay, so 2/13 is 213 is the start of Lucas numbers, and that's you go 155 days from 9/11, and it will take you to that date, the 13th of February, 213. Now that's just absolutely crazy, but the importance of this is the beginning of a cycle, and then the importance of the 11/11 there, which was in here, is 11/11 is the 315th day of the year, and embedded within Lucas numbers there is a 315-day number jump. Okay, and that 315-day number jump takes you through to, from 213 through, it takes you through to Christmas. Okay, oops, Anyway, it takes you through to Christmas. So, and again, the 125 down here is an abbreviation of Christmas. Okay, that's it. Okay, there's so much more in here. You want the 55 and the 88 is down here. You know, the 55 and 88 with these leaves and berries. There's 5 and 8 and 5 and 8, and there's also a hidden 5-9 in here as well. I don't know what else to say. So you know, 55 and 88 miles an hour. Okay. And one other little thing for new people is that we talk about Billy Idol a lot. Yeah, Billy Idol, and you know, the White Wedding. So you know, he's got so many important songs, right? Well, this is the Billy Idol here. Yeah, the bill. This thing is the bill. Okay, of the I, the one, which is the I, the one doll. Okay, so this is the Billy I doll, the Billy Idol. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will catch you on another one soon. All right, cheers. Bye.